Welcome in, everyone. We have another AE Fitness Client Spotlight. Very happy to have Tiffany Ellis join us today. How are you doing today, Tiffany?
Doing very well and happy to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. Like I said, we greatly appreciate you joining us. And just wanted to give a shout out to Tiffany. She is the owner on her business grind and also her fitness grind. And just really happy to see her keep a balance between both. Both of us have entrepreneur mindsets and businesses, so we do see the precedent of keeping our health a priority because we are the engine, right?
Yes.
Well, definitely want to take it away and just kind of start off with our initial journey together. I think I first met you by a flyer where I was at a gym and I saw a flyer for the Summer Jam block party. I think it was the week before, the week of, and I was like, hey, I would like to participate. I'm a new business owner in the area. And then you invited me to the party, and it was a huge, huge hit, huge success. Was that your first one?
Yeah, I believe it was.
Yeah, that was back in 22, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, then that was the second one. I think we did
Okay.
our first one in 21.
21 was the first one. That's right. So our journey kind of started right around there. Tiffany, just kind of tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, and maybe what motivated you to start working with me. That's how we initially met, but I think we just kept that conversation going after that Summer Jam party.
Yeah. I'm a really bad storyteller, so bear with me here. I think for me, like growing up, health and wellness was just not a thing. I grew up in a low income neighborhood, and my family were just kind of working class people, and there were no gyms in our community at all. Like I don't ever remember there being any type of fitness center or anything like that. We got our activity like normal kids in the 80s, just going outside, running around, playing ball, things like that. It was not a conscious effort to even play sports and things like that. So for me, when I encountered you at our Summer Jam Festival, I was at kind of a critical point in my life where I realized that I am way too heavy. I am too sedentary. I worked in corporate. I just lived a sedentary lifestyle. I'm constantly sitting in front of a computer. I'm eating all the wrong things, drinking coffee all day, with all of the things in there. And so when I met you, I was kind of like, I need help. I need answers. I need a structured system to get myself on track. And I literally did not know where to start.
I definitely appreciate you sharing that background. And that's a huge level of both, like I said, desire, sense of urgency, and motivation. So you definitely were someone that I, gravitated towards because I could see the desire for change, but it was just the knowledge of how to get there and then the accountability to see it through to the other side. Tiffany, I know you said there were some times of needing a change, or what was your main motivator goal? Was it weight loss, or was it the structure just to be healthy, or kind of give me a little more about that?
I would say it was two parts. So
Okay.
I wanted definitely to lose weight. I had dibbled and dabbled over the years with trying to work out at home, and I had joined different gym memberships over the years and things like that. The one thing that was consistent was that I was not consistent.
Okay.
I would start something for 30 days or try to jump on a challenge, and I just wouldn't see it all the way through, or I would give up,
Okay.
or it was too hard, or it was too rigid, or whatever reason at that time that worked to fit the narrative of I want to quit. And I had to learn to be very honest with myself. So a part of it was just learning to be honest, to identify what it is. Weight loss was a big thing. Like I had to just face I was really just too big. But then the second part of it was I needed to learn how to be consistent. And so my goal starting off was, yes, to lose weight, but I did not give myself a very stringent, you got to lose 2 pounds a week. I didn't have a goal
Okay.
like that. My goal was to just not go back up. So whatever I lost, I wanted to keep it off. And then the second part was I want to be consistent. I want to show up as much as I'm uncomfortable. If the classes are 3 days a week or 5 days a week, I want to show up and be there, even if I did not put in 100%. That was a challenge for me to just show up and be there. So it was in two parts.
That's great. Well, yeah, I definitely want to go a little deeper in that because I almost feel like between you and one of my other clients, Cindy, we need to interview her next. You all are like my perfect attendance small group clients. The motivation to continue the workouts, to continue that challenge. It sounds like you kind of leapfrog from session to session and you kept that momentum. So it sounds like the momentum was very important to you, right?
Yes.
Now, we have been working together. I was looking back at our journey and our log over 2 to 3 years. So, can you share any challenges during that time you faced along the way? And then how you overcame them, or maybe how I helped you overcome some of those challenges in your just life and fitness journey?
Like I said, the biggest challenge that I had was being consistent to show up.
Okay.
And I am kind of a simple, no nonsense kind of person. I live a very, very simple life. I am happy with that. It's my comfort zone. So
Mm,
your gym is simple. When I show up, there's not a lot of distractions. There's not a lot of people walking back and forth doing things that are not consistent with a workout. It's kind of like I can show up, I can get my workout in, and I can get out of there. Because for me, that was a big thing. Like it's intimidating to walk into a gym at nearly 300 pounds and to say, okay, I'm gonna fit in. You definitely stand out. I
gotcha.
stood out. I
Yeah.
felt like I stood out. So I didn't want to be in the gym any longer than necessary. Your class schedule supported me in that because it was like,
Okay.
okay, classes will start at 12, the class actually starts at 12 and it works. And I can get
Yeah.
it in 30 to 45 minutes and get out. That was like one of the biggest things is I knew what to look forward to. The
Okay.
other was the not knowing. So I'm going into this, I have no idea about form. I have no idea about what's supposed to work this way or that way or the other. You are
Yeah.
excellent in explaining this is what you're doing. This is the movement. You'll verbally give instructions, but you'll also like physically give those same instructions and show I am not very
Mm,
coordinated. So I needed that extra help. Those things were really important to me. They really helped me to overcome a lot of things. I was able to get past the fear of not wanting to show up because I'm uncomfortable. My clothes don't fit well, or I look awkward when I'm doing certain exercises and whatnot. I was able to get over that because of your small class structure, because of the intense focus on just doing what we came here to do. We came here to work out.
oh yeah, strictly business. Yeah, we still have fun though. That's good. So sounds like the environment was simple, which was relatable to you. And then the structure was not intimidating, but it was also educational because I almost feel like you could be my assistant trainer right now. You really come to leaps and bounds with your confidence, your ability to know the moves, instruct other people, and then just kind of keep that class vibe energy up. But I'm really happy to hear that these were some concerns you had originally, and then just going through the process, those challenges just kind of melted away, and you were able to kind of hit your groove. So I feel like that hurdle that was overcome allowed you to maintain your momentum and focus. And then if you had like life events, you had something to come back to, right? Like if you had a work or family commitment, you knew where your home base was because it was simple and predictable with the timing, like you said, right?
Yes,
Okay, that's
exactly.
awesome. And then I guess that kind of dovetails into the support. But is there any other feedback you want to give on that support and guidance in your journey to this point?
I mean, there's a lot of things that I did. I really liked about the program in terms of like planning. Again, I'm a very simple person, but
Mm,
I do like the meal plans and stuff when I have some extra time and I can be in the kitchen longer than like 20 minutes. That's great. But I love that you also pivot well to say, look, if all you've got time is to maybe take a piece of grilled chicken and some green beans, this is how you can make it work. Add this one
absolutely.
extra thing to it, add this grain to it and you're
Mm,
perfectly fine. So I like that you don't push, but you don't push a certain plan, so to speak, like, oh, you've got to
yeah,
eat this, and this, but you pivot to say, okay, this is your lifestyle. I know that I'm only going to get you for this amount of time. Here's how
right.
you can simply hit the food groups that you need in the time that you have available.
No,
Yeah.
that's definitely relatable because in the journey we're all navigating through, but we still want to hit these goals, but our life has to like grid or weave through those things. But we have to be realistic because if it was regimented, nobody would do it. It wouldn't get done. And I think maybe that's the bar that's kind of misrepresented in fitness, where you have to do this way or you're not going to make it. Like, I don't believe that. I think there's definitely flexibility to your journey, and you're a key testament to that based on the time that we've been together. And also, any goals or specific milestones you'd like to share with what you reached in our time together?
Yeah, so when I started out, when I first came to you, I literally came to you in tears. I don't know how that made you feel, but I remember that day and I was in
Mhm.
tears in the consultation. I was like, I got to make some life changes. My
Yeah.
husband's concerned that I'm shortening my lifespan. It was really kind of very
Yeah.
dramatic. But at that time, I was at my highest weight, and I believe I was at like 274. And this year, like in the last week or two, I want to say I'm closer to like maybe 215. We'll round it and say that's about a 60-pound weight loss. Been very consistent with keeping it off. I've had some challenges, but I never felt like, oh my God, I fell off. It's going to all come back. I literally do not have that fear. And I think that I've also reached the milestone of, I've always said that, like, I hate working out. It's not my favorite thing. I do it because I have to, not because I love it. But I think
Hmm.
that I'm finally getting to, because I've set a routine, because your classes are always kind of at the same time on every days, is something that I can look forward to. I've gotten into the habit. I definitely feel off when I don't show up, when I do have
Yes.
to miss a class, when I do have to be out of the gym for a while. And so that's a new milestone for me because I never look forward to working out.
Yeah.
But now I look forward to what I feel like after I get the workout in.
That's awesome. So it sounds like your relationship to working out and exercise has also changed along the way, and that's a huge accomplishment in addition to the weight loss journey. And I do remember that initial assessment, and I'm a big believer in holding space for people because I see people for where they're going to be, not where they are presently. And I could just tell, like, hey, if I can just lock in and find something to keep that fire burning, we can make some big goals and dreams accomplished. And 60 pounds down, that's super impressive. And I do remember in our first couple of milestone check-ins, remember I was handing you the dumbbell to say, like, this is how much weight you lost. We need to do that for the 60
Yeah.
pounds. That's pretty heavy. Like, you see you every day, but the process and change of people around you, I'm sure they've noticed the difference and you've gotten compliments. But it's just being in that grind of, okay, it's me, but the documentation of your progress. And then now looking back at some of your photos, it does show another example of what you have achieved, right?
And that's like another big part about being in the gym that I do appreciate is, one, because your smaller group structure allows me to work out with the same people pretty much over and over and over again. So they're kind of like becoming my friends and I trust
Yes.
them now. So
Yeah.
when they walk up to me and they're like, oh my God, you're shrinking. A lot of times I don't see it because I
Mhm.
see myself every day. I'm not even thinking about it. I still don't make goals to say, okay, this December, I got to lose 6 pounds. No, I
Right.
have to stay consistent. That's my
Yeah.
overall goal, and everything is to stay consistent. So when they come to me and they tell me things and give me compliments, it really does. It rings home. I take it with me. I keep that because I trust
Absolutely. Yeah, they're battle buddies. Then they're, accountability, iron sharpening iron. Everyone's coming in, putting in work. But the recognition, I think, especially for ladies, if you can get a compliment from another lady, that's very high regards, and it just makes you feel like the investment of time was well worth it. Well, I do like that. Now, I guess kind of talking us back through this journey, coming down 60 pounds. How would you describe changes in your energy level, sleep quality? I know you say if you miss the gym, you kind of get anxious, like you look forward to that next workout. But quality of life in regards to sleep and energy, I think this is critical now because I feel like we're deprived of sleep in America. We're not resting well. We're not really nutritionally sound. So describe that journey to me.
I have always been a very good sleeper, so that
Okay.
would probably have to skip me on that one. I probably
Okay.
standing up. I don't know. But in terms of energy, I definitely see myself doing a lot more things.
Okay.
As an entrepreneur, as a small business owner, look, we got to make it fit where we can. I use my house for storage for a lot of my business things. And right now we're working on a project that is requiring us to pull some stuff out of storage. And what
Okay.
I noticed is I'm able to go up the 2.5 flights of stairs to get to the attic in my house to
Right.
pull down all of the materials that's needed.
Yeah.
That before I'm winded, I'm sore. Imagine pulling down like 30 Rubbermaid containers worth of
Yeah.
stuff, and they've got to go from the attic to the second floor, down the hall to the first floor,
Yeah.
and then get loaded into a vehicle. I could probably stand up in the attic and point to stuff and say, okay, hey, I'd like this to go down. But now I'm
Mhm.
able to do that and be an integral part of my family and my team when I've got them
Yeah.
pulling down all the stuff that I want. But things like that really show me how far I've come. And so I'm stronger and my endurance is definitely improved. I'm
Right.
able to work on things a lot longer. My range of motion also, I didn't like, I never imagined being able to squat to pick up something, squat to move something from here to there,
Mhm.
clean or whatnot. Those things I'm realizing when I'm in that moment. Oh my gosh, I've been squatting in this position for like 3 or 4 minutes. So that range of motion and ability to do things like that is really, yeah, it's nice little pleasant surprises, like little presents, little
Absolutely.
gifts throughout the day.
Fitness, that's the gift that keeps on giving because my thought process for strength training is that balance between flexibility and functional training, meaning like you want to show up and look good. That's the aesthetics of it, but performance is like, hey, we're still living life. So what we're putting in the gym is going to help us do life better. So you are living life at a higher level in abundance. And your business is grateful for that, and your coworkers and your family, so you can just show up big in all the areas. So I'm really happy that you noticed that. And I guess the other thing too, Tiffany, I had a question on would be, what advice would you have for someone who may have see this presentation or they see me online or in an ad? I know our experience and how we met was different, but what advice would you give to someone if they were maybe hesitant to start their journey with me?
I would say start with some self-reflection first. Seriously.
Okay.
Like get
Yeah.
real with yourself and identify the things that you want. Once
Mhm.
you have those, sit down with Alan. Like sit down, tell him what's important to you, what's not important to you, what your goals are, even if it's very simple goals. Like I said, mine was just to start out and actually just show up, just to get in my
Yeah.
vehicle and drive to the gym, just to
Yeah.
show up. And then it became, okay, let me see what I can do. How much more can I do? Can I do one extra sit up? Can I do this, that, or
Yeah.
the other? But be true to yourself because you will stick with your goals a lot longer. And Alan is more capable of helping you when he has the tools that drive you. Everybody's an individual. Some people get off on, man, I was able to lift the extra 20 pounds today. Some people are excited just to say, I did the motion. I did it. I had
Yeah.
really good form and I felt it. Like I actually can say that I worked out and I felt the workout. I know that I did something important today. So be
Mhm.
honest with yourself and then be honest with Alan and just lay it out and let him guide you through the process. Go in with an open mind because he has lots of tools, lots of education, lots of things that can help you with struggles that you don't even realize.
That's powerful. Self-reflection, authenticity, those are all important to me. And I do have that phrase saying, God can't steer a parked car. So I do like to attract people who are coming to me in motion. And as long as you're willing to move, I can kind of guide and steer those people. But I think that's a very good. And then two, I guess you could say the theme now that we're kind of in these winter months is that summer bodies are made in the winter. So now that this is your almost second or third year, maybe kind of share that mindset of people or what your mindset was originally, because we are coming up on Thanksgiving, Christmas, holidays, New Year's resolutions. So what would you say to somebody who's like, oh, I'll just wait to start in the new year? What would you tell them?
Oh, six of one, half dozen of the other.
Yeah.
On one
Yeah.
hand, I'm a big realist and I'm like, look, if you think you need to wait until January, then obviously you're not ready. So maybe you
Yeah.
don't need to go and waste anybody's time. But
Makes
then
sense.
on the other side of it, then if you know that you're not ready, then spend some time asking yourself, why am I not ready? Am I
Right.
not ready because I need to get over this subconscious, self defeating? What do I look like when I go to the gym? Or am I
Hmm.
going to feel uncomfortable? Am I going to get winded? Are people going to look at me funny or this, that, and the other? But also, if you're going to take that time and plan, then take that time and truly plan to come up with, okay, this is what my life looks like on a day to day basis. This is what I can achieve during these.
Hmm.
I love your schedule that I can either put it in on the front end of the day or I can get it in on the back end of the day, which does not disrupt my day itself. It allows me
Makes
to
sense.
continue with all of the things that I need throughout the day. So plan it. Like I tell people all the time that I plan around my gym schedule. So if I have an appointment that's coming up when I'm scheduled to be at the gym, I will
Yeah.
reschedule that appointment, not the gym.
Makes
So
sense.
I can't go if it's at 6 o'clock on Thursday and I got a 6 o'clock class. I'm like, I can't be there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Y'all
Yeah.
gonna miss me. So plan it. Like literally do exactly what you're saying. So if you're saying, hey, today is not the day, I'm not ready, I'm gonna push it off until January. Make sure when January comes around that you are not in the same place. When January rolls around, you should have it written down. I'm gonna go to the gym 2 to 3 times a week, or I'm gonna make Thursday my day to work out with Alan
Mm-hmm.
at AE Fitness, and then you work around it. You see how you can structure the rest of your life to support the goals because you have to
Yeah.
commit to it. So
Yeah.
figure out what you can commit to first. Can you commit to the eating plan if you were provided maybe the recipes and everything like you do on your website? Or do you need a more simple, give me a protein, a vegetable, and a grain, and then I can eat these same things 3 times a week and I
Yeah.
can make it work? Whichever your goal is or whatever your comfort level is, make that the target, write it down, make it real, and then I guess execute on it at that point. But that's what I would say. I would say get started
Yeah.
because you're not going to get the time back, but at the
Mhm.
same time, make sure that you're committed once you get started.
That's huge. I keep hearing in your success journey, the big things I keep hearing, Tiffany, and I feel like it's very important just to highlight you again with spotlighting your achievement is the self reflection, the consistency, and then the planning. So it sounds like the shift was reflecting on where I am, where I want to be, and then knowing what I need to do to get there. And then as I continue on this road, I do want to remain consistent, but I also have to plan my fitness journey as a priority so it doesn't get put on the back burner. So I think that's huge. And that does apply, like you said, people may have family travel schedule, but just being honest with yourself, that is critical to your journey. But then also giving yourself that grace to say, okay, I'm going to be consistent. I'm not going to be perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. If I could add a couple things that are just like randomly just bouncing around my head, some of the other shout outs that I'd love to add in is that, like for me, like again, I'm a very simple person. I love that the workouts are simple. They target exactly what they're intended to target without a whole
Mhm.
lot of, I'm going to call it dancing around and showboating. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It's just
Okay.
not my thing. So I love the simplicity of a focused workout, focused movement, and I'm able to learn it a lot faster and a lot easier that way as well.
That's good.
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed, the process of working with you and, the journey I've been able to set with you, the goals we've accomplished. This just makes me feel very fulfilled as a business owner to have clients have success. And, there's multiple ways we have success, but, taking the time out today to honor you has been very huge and grateful to have you on the team. And I would just say, going into 2025, how do you envision your fitness journey progressing in the future, or what other goals do you kind of have set out now that we're going to head into the new year?
I would say 2025, I would like to ramp it up a little bit. I think that I have found my comfort zone and I've gotten too comfortable in that, meaning that my consistency is on point now. Like I
Yes.
literally work out almost every day of the week at this point. And even on the weekends when I kind of do my own thing, kind of freestyle, I still get it in. And
Mhm.
I think that I can increase the intensity of my workouts. Most of that is through like basically the harder exercises, like going from, I don't know, I'm going to use some bad terms here, like baby crunches to adult crunches. Like, not ready for pull ups yet, but maybe I could do some assisted pull ups or something, kind of start strengthening. I think that it's time for me to level up.
Perfect.
Definitely. I think it's time for me to level up from focusing on just consistency and showing up to let's make some things happen. Let's really see, okay, how much could you push it if you pushed it just a little bit more?
You definitely have demonstrated a mastery of the basics, and the intensity does have the potential to increase, but you are also at the tipping point of the ability to go sub 200. I think that's definitely within reach easily. So we're going to call you Tiffany 2.0 in 2025.
There was a holiday or something, and I think you were closed for the day, and I wanted to
Mhm.
get that extra workout in. And so I did like a little sample class at a local gym. And
Okay.
I think I came back to your gym and I was like complaining. I was probably really bad about that. It was a
Uh,
great workout. It was very intense. You focus on training safely. I've
sure. Yeah.
never gotten injured working out
Mhm.
with you. I've never left feeling like I can't walk or I can't lift
Yes.
anything. So I might get jelly legs every now and then on
Mhm.
a particular day, but never like I can't go on with the rest of my day. When I left this other gym, I was literally hurting for days. It wasn't just
Mhm.
like muscle weakness or
Yeah.
something like that. It was something like more like I think I was on the floor and I didn't have proper padding. So for me, that was important to know that I
Mhm.
am working out with a trainer that also understands that there's life beyond just the training session and that our plan and our exercises support me throughout the day and not just in that moment. I have a big shout out for that. Like I would feel very comfortable bringing my mom, my
Mhm.
grandmas and all of those people to you because I
Yeah.
know that you're going to take care of them. You're going to watch out and make sure that they're using proper form, that they're not doing anything crazy that would hurt them or injure them in any way. That's big.
My thought process on that, because my big mantras or things I like to tell people is, you want to stimulate, not annihilate. And I feel like maybe some instances of trainers, maybe wherever they are in their journey, they just know how to train how they train, but that doesn't apply to the client, so to speak. I'll say, and, you and I have always talked about this. It's not about how much you can do, it's how quickly you can recover. But how long is it going to take you to recover after that workout? Can you come back and do it again consistently? So I do see that parallel between safety and consistency to help you reach your goal faster without overdoing it. That's a great way to kind of spotlight, some things that I'm passionate about with my business, the development of my clientele, and then just make sure everyone has a great experience overall. Well, Tiffany, I really enjoyed this spotlight for you, and I definitely look forward to maybe doing this again. Maybe we make this an annual event because we want to hear about the 2025 Tiffany 2.0. But we'll just kind of wrap up today with that thought process. And like I said, greatly appreciate you being here and very proud of all you've accomplished.
Thank you for having me on.